Today, I'll be trying to achieve what only 0.1% of players have achieved before, staying 25 consecutive days inside Langston Mine. And not only that, but I will be attempting this on Interloper difficulty. On top of that, I will only be giving myself half of those days to prepare for my 25 days locked away. This means I will have to make my way from my starting point in Pleasant Valley all the way over to the Zone of Contamination, while trying to scavenge and harvest as much food as I can without falling prey to the elements. This is the Long Dark Steam achievement, Too Greedily, Too Deep. Let's conquer it. So as I start out in Pleasant Valley near the Timberwolf Mountain climbing rope, let's go over some ground rules. Number 1. Like I said, I'll have a maximum of 12 days to prepare for the long stay. No longer than that, but I can go in earlier if I'm ready. Number 2. I can only enter the mine once, so I can only bring in what's on my person. I cannot lug a bunch of stuff to the entrance and drag it in later load by load. And yes, I did just get a sprain. Number 3. I will need to have the well-fed perk by the time I leave the mine. The well-fed perk allows for an extra 5 kg carrying weight bonus, but only if you've managed to keep food in your system for the last 3 days. But I'll explain this a little more later on when we talk about calorie consumption. So as I hobble over to the prepper's cache, some of you may be wondering how I will be dealing with the cabin fever affliction. If you're unaware, cabin fever will set in after spending just under a week indoors. When afflicted, you won't be able to sleep indoors. And if you can't sleep, you'll become exhausted. And if you become exhausted, you'll slowly lose condition until you die. Do you see how that could be a problem? Well, let me tell you a little secret about my plan to deal with cabin fever. Come here. I'm not. Interloper allows for 2 active feats. These are essentially perks that you can add before starting a new game. And for my 2 active feats, I've chosen Fire Master, which allows me to start at fire starting level 3. And for my second one, I've chosen the Settle Mind feat, which allows me to play with cabin fever deactivated. So I won't even have to worry about it. You could theoretically get around the cabin fever affliction without this feat, but that would require a lot of rosehip pies, coffees, stims, and or go energy drinks, which is just not worth it in my opinion. Plus there's no way I would find enough before the 12-day time limit is up. And just like that, we make it to the prepper's cache. Now, hopefully there's clothes, hopefully there's some pain meds in here or something. Oh, nice and dark, love it. Nothing in there, okay. We don't have the pry bar either. Love that, absolutely love that. Nice, matches, good find. Love that. Okay, so we got a couple things of matches now. Okay, we're gonna go. I think if I try to get over to the plane crash, we can at least find some clothing. When I arrived at the airliner, the place was a mess. Through the various suitcases strewn around, I found a pair of jeans, a dress shirt, and a ball cap. Nice! Then I headed over to the nearby cave to start a fire and warm up before I head back out. I made and drank a rosehip tea while I was there. It cured the sprain pain, but I didn't have any cloth to bandage it. My vitals at this point were looking a little questionable. I quickly checked out the Skeeter's Ridge basement and found a couple of food items, plus a scarf and a hoodie. I then decided I wanted to head down to the Pleasant Valley homestead, as I figured that'd be the best place for possible item spawns. Along the way, I collected as many rose hips and cattail stalks as I could. Slowly but surely, I finally made it to the homestead. In my couple-hour looting spree at the house, I managed to find some food that will come in handy, like syrup, oil, and flour. I was also able to bandage my sprain and light a fire so I could make some tea and get the warming up perk before heading out to the Thompson's Crossing Community Center, which I wanted to get to before I lost the rest of the daylight. Leaving the house, the sky was an eerie grayish-green color, which was creepy, but at least it wasn't a blizzard. I headed over to the barn, which was very underwhelming for loot. Then, as I step outside, I get my first sighting of the bear. I was far away enough that I didn't have to worry about him, but something I did have to worry about was the aurora. I may have taken too much time at the house, and by now, the sun had set and I was still a little ways away from the community center. I also knew that there's a wolf that likes to stalk around, so it was within my best interest to boogie over there as quickly as possible without getting caught. Inside, I found the new festive sweater and some extra canned goods. I then cooked up some food and settled down for the night. As I get ready to take off for day 2, it's a good time to tell you what I need to find and what I would like to find before I enter the mine. The number 1 thing I need is a bedroll. Without a bedroll, this run is going to be so much tougher, as I will only be able to sleep in existing beds, and those are few and far between. Besides the bedroll, I also need at least 10 to 15 matches, as I won't be lighting a fire every day, but I think that's a healthy amount to be able to start fires I need while having a few left over for when I eventually leave. I will also need 10 to 15 sticks or books to be able to start fires, as there's plenty of coal in the mine that I can feed the fire with, but I won't be able to start the fire with the coal, unfortunately. Finally, I will need some teas and or canned vegetables to fend off scurvy, but I don't think that's going to be a problem as there's plenty of rosehip bushes and reishi mushrooms around. Some things I would like to find to make this challenge a little easier is a hatchet, a lantern, and at least a couple emergency stims just in case things start going south, or so I can use them to get a little cardio workout in. With all that being said, we're off. I search through the rest of the town and find some killer loot. Then I encountered the wolf, but he was no match for me and my torch. Today's goal is to get out of Pleasant Valley and over to the transition cave that will take me into Winding River and into the Carter Hydro Dam. But first, I will have to backtrack from where I was yesterday. Along the way, I snagged a rabbit, then went back to the farmstead to warm up and use the stove to cook up some food. During an interloper run, I would usually starve myself during the day so I can save the food for when I'm sleeping. Because if you're starving during the day, you only lose 1% condition an hour, so having enough calories at night would help me regenerate my lost health. But since I want to obtain the well-fed perk, I'll have to keep the calories in me while I traverse across the regions. This way, I can carry more gear needed to complete the challenge. Speaking of calories, if I were to attempt to stay well fed for the 25 days in the mine, I would need a minimum of 2,650 calories per day. If I break that down, that allows 600 for an 8-hour sleep, 800 for 4 hours of walking in case I want to explore, plus 1,250 for just standing around. This brings our total calories needed to a whopping 66,250. That is equivalent to around 66 full bear steaks, which would be impossible to walk with, let alone try to accumulate in the time that I have. So needless to say, this amount of food is not going to fly with me. So in order to fend off death by starvation, I will be implementing the hibernation method while in the mine. This means I will only need 600 calories a night for 25 nights. That brings our total calories down to a measly 15,000 for the 25-day stay. Now that might not seem like a lot, especially compared to 66,000. But it is still quite a bit of food to gather. So in an effort to keep as much food on me as I can, I mistakenly exit the house on day 3 with a full cooked rabbit still in my inventory, making me stinky and attracting the wildlife to my location. Is that Timberwolves over there? The Timberwolves right there. We will not go that way. Are they coming towards me because of my smell? Oh, okay, they're coming towards me. We might actually... Hang on. I do not want to get spotted by these goofs. Oh my god, they're really coming. Okay, hang on. We're going to try to sprint away. We're going to try not to get caught by these Timberwolves. Okay. Hang on. Oh, bad call. They are coming fast, hot and fast. This actually is really bad. Okay, we have to try to get to the thing. We made a mistake. Yeah, oh my god. Go. Oh, yeah, okay. There they are. Oh, f*** off, dude. Okay, go. Might have to use the emergency stim, and just get over here. I'm really close. They're gonna hit me a couple times. They're gonna tear my clothes, maybe cause some bleeding. Hopefully not set an infection. I do have antibiotics. Dude, get the fuck out of here. Okay, hang on. Actually, we're gonna get in here really quick. Get out of here. Yep, okay. Get in. Wait, is that a bear? Did I hear the bear? Is that what they got scared of? It is. Oh my god, the bear's here too. I was like, why did I turn around and they get scared of me? But it's the bear. This bear, I can hear him. He's waiting for sure. Let's see if he's there. Yeah, there he is. Hey, dude, what's up? What's up, gamer? Getting inside. Give me the perk. Warming up. Nice. Okay. See what's out here? Nice. It's a nice day. Also, I don't know where this bear is. He could be very close. Gotta watch out for these Timberwolves. I don't think they're gonna smell us from way over there, though. We are so good. I never thought I'd say this, but after I was saved by the bear, I headed down the road and up to the Signal Hill radio tower. Oh, coffee. I love it. Yo, Interloper, look at all this food. People complain about Interloper not having food. I literally have so much food from this run. Crazy. After gathering what I could, I hit the fishing hut and went to the transition cave. As I get to the cave to warm up, I come to the realization that I'm exhausted and do not have a bedroll yet. And just my luck, there isn't a bed inside the cave. So reluctantly, I had to traverse outside and towards the Carter Hydro Dam in an attempt to find somewhere to get some much needed rest. Okay, we're out. Let's get to the dam, see if we can find a freaking bedroll, man. I forgot I didn't have a bedroll. A bedroll is necessary for our survival in the mines. Torch is out. It's windy, I guess. So as you enjoy my walk under the Aurora lights, I noticed that none of you are subscribed. So if you could do that, that would be great. Thanks. And just as oh, wait, hang on. Oh my god. No! That sucks. That sucks a lot. Wait, did I just die? Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. I guess we'll just have to do it again. But I won't bore you with all the same stuff. Instead, I'll just give you a quick rundown. I spawned just down the road from Thompson's Crossing this time. After looting the town, I hit the barn, and then the homestead, where I decided to stay the night. This time, I spent one night in the homestead and one night in the Signal Hill radio tower. In the morning, I left Pleasant Valley, and I essentially found what I had when I died, minus a bit of food and some different clothing, but nothing too different. This time, I did not leave the cave during the Aurora. Lesson learned. Instead, I dealt with the bastard that did me in the first time, and made it to the hydro dam during the day without incident. After making my way through the dam, I head out during a blizzard in the Mystery Lake region. Luckily, it ended quickly and I took the back route to the camp office. It was here I found a vital piece of equipment. After movie night, you're absolutely right. Bedroll, 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 yes! Let's fucking go, you guys. This is it. This is what we came for. Ugh. Game changer. That is what we need for the mine. Let's freaking go. Now I won't have any problems trying to find a place to sleep in the mine. As I spend the next 3 full days in Mystery Lake, let's talk about some ideas I had about collecting the most calorie-dense food, because so far, we've only been collecting canned goods and ketchup chips that we find in houses, and I don't think that's gonna cut it. First thing I thought of is that if I could somehow quickly find a hatchet or hacksaw, I could cut down some saplings, cure them, craft a bow and arrows, and with that, I could take a deer or 2 down on my way to the mine. But I was very naive about how quickly I could find a hatchet, let alone have a time to cure the saplings, craft the bow plus the arrowheads, then go hunting. So my next idea was that I could fish. Curing a gut to craft a line would still be about a 5-day wait. So I was really banking on finding a fishing tackle in one of the ice fishing huts. Alas, in each hut that I checked, there were none. That idea out the window. With only food that I had found lying around, I knew it wouldn't be enough. I needed something else. Think, Grape, think. 2 of the most calorie-dense foods and arguably most abundant in the game. Do you know it? Cattail stalks and acorns. Cooked acorns are very calorie dense, coming in at a whopping 3,333 calories per kilogram. Cattail stalks are right behind them, clocking in at 3,000 calories per kilogram. They also never spoil or dehydrate, so while in the remaining regions, I made it a point to grab as many as I could get my grubby little mitts on. I end my 3-day stint in Mystery Lake having checked nearly every location available. I seriously lucked out with the weather this weekend, as traveling through Forlorn Muskeg was a beautiful experience for once. Except this wolf. This guy scared the crap out of me, and I don't know how he didn't see me. What the hell? Forlorn Muskeg has plenty of cattails available to harvest. Even though I didn't travel any further than around the main railroad track, I collected a fat ton and made it to the Broken Railroad region in just under a couple hours. The wolf on the pond was distracted by his lunch. Unfortunately, the weather would turn on me just before I made it to the maintenance shed, but it seemed to despawn all the wolves around, so it was all to my benefit anyway. The maintenance shed was very good to me, as I found a jerry can of oil, 2 match boxes, and an emergency stim. I end up spending the rest of the night there, and in the morning I head out to deal with these pesky wolves. And into the DLC regions I go. While in the train tunnel, I warm up and make some delicious rosehip pies, my favorite. Heading out, I was very careful not to get caught by this wolf on my way to the cave. It was here I realized how over-encumbered I really was, and the major culprit were these skill books. Each skill book is half a kilogram, and I was carrying around 14 of them. I was thinking that during my 25 days in the mine, I could use them as entertainment, but if I'm implementing the hibernation method, then I wouldn't have the full stomach I needed to actually read the books. So I reluctantly left them for someone else to find and use one day. With around 7 kilos freed up, I'm in a good position to collect many more acorns and cattail stalks. And just my luck, because the next region we come across is Transfer Pass. Transfer Pass connects 3 of the DLC regions, Forsaken Airfield, Sondered Pass, and the region we will be visiting very shortly, the Zone of Contamination. This region is also chock full of oak trees with their bountiful harvest of nuts, softly tucked under a blanket of snow at their trunks. I spent the rest of day 9 harvesting all the available cattails and acorns. By this point in the run, I was consuming and collecting resources so fast, I couldn't keep up with my calorie calculations. So I decided to just collect as many as I could and I'll figure it out when I entered the mine. On day 10, with only a couple days left to prepare, I make it to the region I will call home for at least the next 25 days, the Zone of Contamination. Here, I quickly come across the poison wolves that stalk this region. These wolves are far more desperate for food and can be extremely dangerous to be around. They also do not run far away when scared like normal wolves, which makes them far more likely to immediately get right back on your case. Which, as you can tell, is the most annoying thing in the world. Like, I'm just trying to gather some resources. Brother, leave me alone. Not only that, but there's a ton of chemical barrels that have been spilt everywhere. I had to stop at the first settlement I came across because the wolves were so relentless, and it only continued when I left. They chased me until it was almost pitch black out. but somehow I managed to get to the headframe building just above the Langston Mine. I ended up coming across the new woodworking tools, which sounded fun, but unfortunately inside the mine, it isn't considered a safe house location. Therefore, I wouldn't be able to customize it to my heart's content. So the woodworking tools are not coming with me. I went up to the offices where I found the respirator and some canisters, then came across my second emergency stim. With all the buildings checked, it was time for sleep. Day 11, and it felt like it was now or never. I was already right beside the mine entrance, so that morning, I packed up my stuff and headed down to finally start the challenge. My carrying capacity with the well-fed bonus was 35 kgs. When I was ready to head down to the mine, I was carrying a respectable 42 kgs. That's actually not bad, as with most of my runs, I'm at least 10 kgs overweight at any given point. But this also made me nervous that I didn't have enough food to last me the 25 days. In order to conserve as many calories as possible, I chose not to eat breakfast and I lost my well-fed bonus just as I neared the entrance. How poetic. The extreme athlete, Beatrice Fulmini, once spent 500 days isolated inside a cave. She was down there for so long, she began having auditory hallucinations. Me, on the other hand, I'm definitely not going to stay that long. Plus, this is a video game, so I think I'll be okay. So remember how I said I needed 15,000 calories in order to survive this challenge? Well, here's all the food items I brought with the approximate calorie count for each item. 32 teas and coffees, 6 carrots, 1 chocolate bar, 1 canned corn, 1 can of dog food, 2 granola bars, 2 bags of ketchup chips, 1 can of pork and beans, 4 potatoes, 7 rosehip pies, 1 box of crackers, 2 cans of Summit soda, 2 tins of sardines, 2 cans of tomato soup, and 28 cooked acorns. This brings our total calories to 14,271. Not quite the 15,000 needed for this run. Oh, hang on. I almost forgot. 77 cattail stalks. These cattail stalks have an incredible 11,550 calories all by themselves. This brings our total to 25,821. Safe to say I won't have a problem staying fed while hibernating in the mine. I was also able to bring in a bedroll, 41 matches, 2 emergency stims, and plenty of sticks and books to start fires. I'm not gonna lie, once I did the math and got settled in the mine, it was kind of boring. Most days were spent by passing time, as there wasn't really anything to do besides cook some food or water and explore a little bit. I did, however, participate in my own Mine Olympics. This is where I popped a stim and ran around this looped section in the mine. My first time on day 8 was a bit rough, completing the gauntlet at 1 minute 34.02 seconds. But my marine flare did go out partway through, so there's plenty of time to be gained. After a bit of training, my second run came on day 13, where I pulled off an impressive 1 minute 27.24 seconds. With the final stim that I had luckily found inside the mine, I went for the record breaker. My third and final attempt on day 19 nabbed me first place. I finished with a whopping 1 minute 23.90 seconds. If you think you can beat this, let me know your time down in the comments. Throughout my stay in the mine, my calorie stockpile was consistently being depleted. And some days I admittedly did indulge and eat a bit more than the 600 calories, just as a little treat of course. As day 25 rolled around, I was awarded the Steam achievement, Too Greedily, Too Deep. Oh, thank God. I was then able to leave the mine with a respectable 2,113 calories left, even with the well-fed bonus.